Kathleen's final moments. So around the 60-minute mark, we get what the prosecution laid out for the most part. It's a powerful scene, but if you can't stomach things like this, you may want to skip ahead. Now, this scene is revised from the earlier scene where it supported, I'll say, Michael Peterson's defense, that she fell to her death and she gurgled blood, and that's how the walls and the baseboard got splattered. This one supports the prosecution's case that Michael Peterson killed Kathleen. The title of this episode is Common Sense. So Kathleen and Michael are chilling poolside. They have drinks. They've watched a movie, which I believe was America's Sweethearts. And Kathleen says, I think I'm going to turn in. I just have to send an email. She leaves Michael and the dogs by the pool. She goes into the house to send this email using Michael Peterson's personal computer in his office. While there, she finds male porn and these salacious emails between Michael Peterson and Brad and other escorts. She sits at the kitchen table, sitting in this, simmering in the pain, crying. Her face is full of tears. She doesn't immediately confront Michael. In other words, she doesn't go out to the pool to confront him. She sits there, she's contemplating what her next move is. She's had it with Michael. She is tired. She already told him she was tired. Then Michael Peterson enters from out the pool. He enters the kitchen. He sees her crying. He thinks maybe she's drunk. She says, no, I'm not drunk. And by the toxicology report, we know that she was not drunk. And in our view, we can see the fireplace. So as an audience member, we're studying that fireplace. We're looking to see if the blowpoke is there. It is pointedly missing. Now, in my opinion, from that scene, I said, listen, the coroner should have checked for tear tracks on her face, because she was crying right before she died, and the defense could have said, well, why was your wife crying? Why are there tears? And I know they can dry up, but she had blood on her face, which would be an imprint or separated from tear tracks, possibly. So they could have used that, but that's neither here nor there. So she says, Michael, I suspected that this was true. I had a suspicion that you were gay. And he denies his sexuality. He claims that he's a writer. He's doing this for research, but she knows he's lying because he always lies. She calls him a lie and a cheat and a thief. And in an earlier episode, Michael had told his legal team that Kathleen knew he was bisexual. He said he knew, his brother knew, it wasn't a secret to her. But in this scene, she didn't know. She found out this night, and it was an inkling in her that made her suspect that he was, well, to her mind, gay. So he's denying it. He's saying, no, I'm just doing research. And she says, I am leaving you. I'm done. And he says, no, you're not. Kathleen leaves this this counter. She heads upstairs. He catches her on the steps, yanks her down. She slips and falls, bumps her head, and he takes her head by her ears and bangs her head against these hardwood steps. just bangs her head, and then he catches himself a little shocked that he let it go this far, and he says, "Oh, Kathleen, I'm sorry." But at this point, she faints unconscious. And then she awakens from this unconscious state, flailing, her legs flailing. She's fighting for breath. What does Michael do? He runs to get towels from upstairs, and he runs back down and he props the towels under her head. He chokes her. That's how her neck was swollen. Her head has laceration because he banged her head against this hardwood. This scene makes the most sense. So he jets upstairs, he grabs some towels, he props the towels under her head as if this could help. She's flailing, fighting to find breath. He doesn't turn her, he doesn't administer CPR. Remember, this is a Vietnam War vet with valor. So he's scrambling, trying to figure out what to do next. Not to help her, he runs to a kitchen nook to grab the phone. He's about to dial 911 and then he throws it. He changes his mind and he goes back with paper towels in hand and he wipes the scene. He's wiping, just making it worse, wiping the baseboard, wiping the wall, and that's where the blood was smearing. And we see some splatter because she's asphyxiating, she's choking, she's drowning on her own blood, and he isn't helping her. He realizes that she's gotta die now. Saving her would ruin his life. She's leaving him. She's going to expose him. She's going to take all of her money. She's going to take her mansion. This is why there's no cast off. This is why there's no blunt force trauma. This is why there's no skull fracture. This is why Dr. Henry Lee was wrong. Michael grabs these paper towels, smearing blood on the baseboards, making it worse. Kathleen tries to lift her body up to breathe. She's fighting for her very final moments in life, while Michael stands over top of her, watching, waiting, conjuring up panic. So when he finally dials 911, the caller will believe him. When he finally dials 911, because he knows these calls are recorded, then he can sound like he's trying to get help for his dying wife. Remember on that call, he says, "She's still alive." Remember, this is a Vietnam War vet with valor who doesn't administer CPR for Kathleen. He hangs up the phone and he calls 911 back. This scene makes the most sense, especially when you pair it with the fact that Elizabeth Ratliff died the same way 25 years earlier in Michael's presence. Is he a serial staircase killer? At the end of this episode, there is a companion episode that describes and outlines the choreography for this episode. Colin Firth and Toni Collette did an amazing job. Like, they recreated this scene to perfection. Thank you so much for your time. I certainly appreciate you. And until next time, peace.